Okay, hey everybody. We're live now. This is Over Breakfast, and we're going to be doing a roundtable discussion on our recent San Diego Comic Con experience. So I'd like to welcome everyone that's here, and we're still trying to figure out some of these technical issues. So it looks like Goldfish is in here. We've got Ninja Turtle and ourselves. I want to introduce everybody who's participating today. We have Brian, who's a co-host of Over Breakfast. We've got Movies with Marty, who is a guest and is going to be hopefully a consistent contributor discussing some of his opinions on feature films. And we've got Fahd, our fitness and lifestyle expert, who's going to be telling you how to do Comic-Con in the most beneficial way to your health possible. So, guys, we just got back. What were your guys' impressions of Comic-Cons overall? We'll just start. We'll do it clockwise according to what I see. So let's start with Marty.
Yeah, thanks, A-Dog. Comic-Con, so this was my 13th one overall. It was a mixed bag. There was definitely a big highlight, which we will definitely talk about. It just felt busier than other ones. It was very hard to get activations, a little bit harder to meet celebrities. The weather seemed like a little bit hotter than usual, but it's still Comic-Con. At the end of the day, you'll get to do the lodge thanks to Fahd. You get to, do Hall H thanks to Fahd, waiting in line. And it's San Diego. San Diego is a great city. So yeah, it was pretty fun for sure. And hanging out with you guys for a week is always a bonus.
Well, obviously. Fahd, what do you think of Comic-Con?
This is my fifth or sixth Comic Con. And I thought it was the best one so far, honestly. I mean they're all a little different. I mean there's some weird years in there where they didn't have a Hall H and I just followed you guys around chasing critters for the entire weekend. But this one was I think this is the first time that I met or took pictures with any sort of celebrity, so that was pretty cool. And then what we'll talk about that highlight later in the show, I guess. But really it was meeting famous people or semi-famous people. The Fandom Party, we all got in, which is awesome. Yeah, the activations were kind of tough this year. I think really with Hall H and everything that happened, I think you really have to. It really emphasizes that you have to work as a team to do Comic-Con right. And I love San Diego. So even though it was 2 degrees warmer, Marcin, I think it was okay.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great point to discuss as we talk, that you have to do Comic-Con as a team, or else you will miss 99% of everything. And that goes with getting into Hall H, doing scavenger hunt stuff like we typically do, or the activation. I mean, you have to coordinate, or else you will get nothing done. And then, because I saw lots of complaints from people, first time goers, when you go in the groups saying they had a different impression of what it was going to be or how fun it was going to be. And it was really because they just didn't anticipate all the lines, and because lines, unfortunately, are a big part of Comic-Con that we have all gotten used to, so used to that we don't even think it's a big deal anymore, Who would imagine sleeping on the sidewalk for 36 hours is a normal thing? You know what I mean? But we can go into that further when we go into the next segment about Hall H. So, Brian, what was your impression?
I think every year I've always felt like it would be tough to top that year. I agree with Fahd. So this was the best year for me personally, probably because there was a mix of things. Aaron, I started going with you in 2019, and the focus has largely been doing other things outside of the activations and Hall H. So this year was the first year I was able to do Hall H, thankfully, without waiting. Sorry, guys. And we did a couple activations, one of which was not worth. What was it, a 6.5 hour wait?
No, yeah, maybe. We got there at 7:30, right? 7:30.
It was 9 a.m.
We got there at 9.
We
yeah,
got,
we got there at 9, and it
we got
started at
to
11.
Apple TVs at 9, and they started moving people at 11, and
And then we
it was
got in
like
like 2, right?
2:30. I don't know.
It's
It was
horrible.
it was horrible. It was just really bad. Like, and I don't like, crapping on it because they, like the actors were trying to do a good job. But anyways, it wasn't worth the wait. And but Lanterns was. So, but anyway, so this was a good year in terms of like the mix of things that we did. In terms of like the scavenger hunt stuff that we usually prioritize, we were still successful there. So that was good. Like Fahd said, we got into fandom. All four of us did, and I felt like the people that showed up to fandom, it was a pretty good lineup this year, right? I mean, I don't know if I'm just imagining that, but it felt like it was a good group that were there.
Yeah, we
And
didn't have to Google as much of like who is this.
that's right. That's right.
That's always good. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice when you can genuinely go up to, even if they're like B list. It's nice when you can go up to them and be like, "I like what you do," or "I like
Like
what
I'm a
you're
big fan.
in."
Yeah.
I don't want to take a picture with someone just because everyone else is trying to take a picture with somebody.
Yeah, and then you
So
blink, and then you have your friend take another picture, and then you're stalking that celebrity. It's fun.
that's right. Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
I think that's a great transition. We had a outline, but we're gonna change it a little bit right now. I think that the next thing we should do is talk about fandom, because I'm not sure if people who are watching will even know what fandom. I mean, hopefully,
Well,
they know what Fandom
Dog,
Party is.
what were your impressions? Where
Mine?
does this rank? Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was probably the best Comic-Con experience I've had, in terms of success and progressing. Obviously progressing the channel, which is now a year old, or just about to turn a year old.
Yeah.
In terms of overall experiences, I thought it was a good mix. I got to go to Hall H again for the first time in like almost 10 years. So that was awesome. And there was an incredible moment that I got to experience. And I reassured me that going to Hall H leads to memorable moments, which is, I was worried that wouldn't happen. Especially if you're going to put in over a day wait to get to be in Hall H. So the time that I went last time to Hall H, I had a really memorable moment with Star Wars, and I got to see like Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher, and then all the new guys, all like fairly close. So that was a moment forever memory. And this time, a similar type of big event happened. So that was mine. So my impression was best ever. Be hard to top, but it still could be topped. We could figure out a way to top
3
it.
best evers, and then
Yeah.
that
Who
the
were you?
highlight.
Again, I
was,
forgot
like,
now.
top-
Who was the? Was it you?
Well,
Sounds like
Yeah,
we're reviewing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
we'll do that next live. So come back next week, everyone.
Yeah. So, we got a sec. Zen, we doubled our count. We have 2 people actively viewing now, so that's twice as many. So we're gonna go. So I think what we should do now is we should discuss fandom, like chronologically. That's how things happened. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the Fandom Party. I'll kind of briefly say what it is. Fandom is a company, or it's that does a lot of pop culture stuff on social media and brings attention to different newsworthy events about what's happening in movies and comic books and stuff like that. And they host a party every year at the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel. And it's usually the big ticket party to get at Comic-Con for non-industry people. I guess that's how I classify it. And they usually give out about, this year, I think they said 150 tickets. To,
and then a plus one, so 300.
So 300.
Yes, 300 people, and you usually enter in some sort of raffle contest, and then you randomly get in. And we've been fortunate to get in there, probably disproportionately number of times. And this year we did also get a chance to get in. And the feature headline was the Cover-Ups, which is a band that has former head of Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong, as also the head of the group, and they performed. But you also get to see a lot of celebrities of various levels of fame there, and we got to meet a bunch of them. So I'm gonna we'll just go around and talk about what you guys did, and you guys can jump in anytime you want. So whoever has the most interesting thing to say, go ahead.
Iron Maiden showed up. Well, Bruce Dickinson, but the fact that Iron Maiden was there, was pretty cool. And I will say that if you're not a Green Day fan, or if you are a Green Day fan, I thought that they sounded really good doing um, things other than Green Day. So
A little fact: my first CD I ever purchased was Dookie. That, like, with my own money, back when I don't know how old I was, 14.
there you go.
Was
That's a
Green
fun
Day's
fact.
first album. So,
Yeah, pretty sure mine was Boys to Men.
oh wow,
That tracks. That tracks.
yeah,
Mine was Madonna, so
Yeah. Also tracks. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
yeah.
So,
But like, it's the party, like the party of Comic-Con. I've been fortunate to go to the very first one where it was like alert goes out and you just sign up to go, and it was just like half a day out there. You could just, hey, I'm going. Then more and more people started like participating. Became a lottery. Like you have to sign up for a whole bunch of social media things. But there's creative ways of you can kind of go in there if you just meet up. Comic Con is a big community, so there's Facebook and Discord and Twitter. Sometimes people are looking for plus ones. So this one was definitely one of the better ones. Just like Brian mentioned, the celebrities, like the whole night, there's like a little photo thing where they just come in, pose for photos, and then get interviewed. And then as they step out, to get drinks or back to the hotel, we kind of camped out and we were able just to get to a selfie city with 20 celebrities, that we grew up with. So definitely the second highlight of the trip for me. And again, I got to thank Fahd. Fahd was the VIP of our little small group, Hall H, Fandom Party, activations. He put in the work. He studied, his fifth or sixth Comic Con. He came prepared. Like if it's your first Comic Con, I feel bad for you, son. Like it's gonna be difficult for you to participate, and you're gonna get overwhelmed. And that's how kind of Fahd probably felt his first time. But man, he was all over the social media fetching things. And again, I gotta give it up to you because that party was well worth just being in attendance.
well, I just to interject, I'm sure that an upcoming video will be strategies and tactics for San Diego Comic Con featuring Fahd, and we can have him, do the boot camp on how to maximize your Comic Con experience.
Well, I mean, like start to finish, right? You could have a whole you could have a whole show about even getting tickets to Comic Con, because you see people posting all the time, like, how do I get tickets? And that in itself, I mean, I wouldn't have got tickets without you and Brian this year, I think. Or
that's the funny thing.
tickets.
I mean, we could do a show
I did.
on strategy on all things: getting tickets, getting hotel, figuring out your flights, where to position yourself for what you want to do at Comic Con. You know what I mean?
You can't do everything. You can't.
Can't do everything.
Like you guys saw a Common, the Common concert, and like ran into Rebecca Ferguson, which is like, I was like, oh man, I was kind of pissed that. And there was a pop-up Green Day concert too.
Was there?
Handed out ice cream.
Yeah. You're talking about at the Padres
At
field.
Petco.
Yeah.
Park.
Oh, oh yes, we saw, actually, Brian and I walked past that when we were hunting.
Yeah, we were hunting.
Yeah,
and
we saw that.
We were like, "What are you guys doing?" And people were saying that he's quote unquote Green Day is supposed to do a pop-up concert here, and then he was out there. If we hadn't gone to the Fandom Party, we might have felt inclined to stick around, but yeah, we didn't. Plus, it felt like really hot when we were out there. But he started throwing ice cream out to the people that were
he
attending.
did. Yeah.
That's the best part of Comic-Con, is that you can't do everything, but there's something going on somewhere. And you're walking by, like A-Dog and Brian were. Johnny Depp pops out as, Scrooge, and you don't even know it's him. You're just filming it, moving along. Later, you find out, like one of the big surprises, like you were there.
That literally is what happened to us. I have footage of that exact situation, and we didn't. And then, like, later at night on debrief, they're like,
we found out
biggest thing ever happening. I was like, I have footage of that.
And we'll talk about you guys finding out later of
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we
yeah.
did.
Again, we had something that was very beneficial that happened
Yeah,
with
that
that.
makes
So
Johnny Depp look like nothing.
yeah, yeah. I almost forget that Johnny Depp was there after what happened.
His news was overshadowed. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that I guess that's the fandom party. Did anything else? Any other things that pop up? I got a picture with Han from Fast and Furious that we got to post up.
Oh, Sung. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think you were the most excited about that. I was like, okay,
Yes, that was the
I was
biggest
excited about.
Cool.
there.
Yeah, I think that Jordan Howlett's the was probably the biggest,
Who?
He was the
aside
biggest
from
celebrity there.
Who's
yeah,
Jordan
aside
Howlett?
from
That's Jordan the Stallion. He's
yeah, Jordan Stallion.
he does a bunch of stuff. He does everything from like cooking reviews to
So I
interviews with
saw. Is
celebrities,
he the
and
guy that had an Iron
and
mask?
he throws his glasses.
He had an Iron. Did he have? Is he the guy that had an Iron Man mask and like he was playing with it on his channel?
I don't know.
I don't remember that. No, I don't remember
know.
that. No,
I'm gonna
but
look up who Jordan is, but
But
you
he
guys
has
can
a
talk about it.
but he has a big following.
oh
So
yeah,
that was
he's
cool.
like 20
And
million
and
followers.
he was just out of a lot of the people there, he was very nice.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He
100%.
was very nice. So
That's him. I see him. Yes.
I was he's like true to how you see him on social media, which is cool because you know that whole saying "don't meet your heroes" kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is disappointing. Um, and I don't like taking pictures of people and then you look at the picture and they look like they don't want to be
Like
there.
Han, like Han did. Yes.
Like, yeah, you gotta use AI to give him a smile.
Yeah. But everyone else was pretty nice. So everyone
Oh,
else was pretty nice.
Yeah, Jordan. I mean, there was just a small story. Like there was a woman that came up to him, and I just random fan or something, and she started talking to him about some collaboration or something, and wanted to do some work with him on something, and he was so patient. He was just like, oh yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's fantastic, just
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know, he was shaking hands, taking time to talk to everybody, and for
Yep.
somebody that big,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it wasn't fandom, but me and Fahd got to meet Kristen Kruk from Smallville. That was a bit of a highlight. She was super nice as well. Posed for a picture. She's got a comic book out there. Signed it. So again, just kind of keeping up with the social media. You find out, you get in line, and then you got like a core memory for a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I will say about social media too, not to cut you off, Aaron, but like, you talk about Fahd and him doing all his research. You join the groups, like that's a big deal. So you want to join the group every year because sometimes it's been renamed, but you want to join those groups, the exclusive groups, and there's an event group too. But I find that even, because you deal with people, like if you want to buy something or if you're trading something, a lot of times, like I don't use Facebook Marketplace, for instance, but I found that most of the people that you interact with or meet or you do a deal with on one of the SDCC groups, they turn out to be legit and pretty friendly. So, because this year, obviously, we utilize that for fandom, but those guys turn out to be pretty cool, right? Would you say, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had good experiences with most of the people. Anyone I've dealt with in that type of marketplace thing, and most of the people that I've met in terms of networking from Comic Con have been really cool. I've had people that I've talked to for the past. I've been going since 2014, and I've have like a network of people that when you goes from getting extra hotel rooms or getting tickets or anything sometimes they have extra activation. So we were able to get into the lanterns because someone had an extra ticket that they just didn't want to use or couldn't use because they were going to be in Hall H. So
yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
again, another thing from that is just networking and making connections is very important if you want to have a successful Comic Con now and in the
it's a
future.
good community. Yeah, it's a good community. Just watch out for the people that joined the group like 2 days ahead of time and have zero friends. Don't send them a Venmo. Look for the people that have been in those groups for a little bit and want to meet up. And that kind of thing. So there's always a bad actor that's trying to take advantage. So
well, let's transition into discussing Hall H. And I think in terms of how you get to it and what you have to do and the process, I'd like Marty and Fahd to kind of give us some greater details, because they are the ones that kind of had the big experience and getting through it. And then we can talk about how we ended up getting our experience kind of briefly too.
Sure.
Yeah, I can go into like the history and what it is, and then Fahd can.
Yeah.
He's the one that spent most of the time. So 2007 was my first Comic-Con, and that's the year Iron Man and Twilight were at Comic-Con, and they took over Hall H. It was walk-in. We were just walking around. Hey, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s driving around San Diego in a big wheel with the director, Jon Favreau. So then the MCU started getting built up, and Twilight also started packing in a crowd. So lines started forming, and it was, a couple hours. And then I forgot which year, but there was something where you had to do it overnight. So you had to camp like overnight, which still wasn't bad, but then you're like, am I gonna sleep here? What's going on? And then Fahd's first year, we're sleeping on the sidewalk, there's cockroaches, and we don't get in. And it was like the worst Comic-Con we've ever had. And we were like 7 people away. And I skipped the next year. I just had to sit out because like it was so stressful to like 15 hours, waiting for something and you don't even get in. So then I was like, this will never happen. We joined a group that is wonderful guys. Like they're friends with us. They help us out. The whole theme is join a group when you go to Comic-Con. And then we have a schedule. We do shifts. And then Fahd can kind of talk about his experience of like the multiple wristbands and like just the excitement of trying to get in.
So yeah, they instituted something where you can only hold a place in line for 2 other people, and because a few years ago, every one person was holding they would hold the stay in line. They would take shifts, they would switch off, but then like 50 people would show up, and the front of the line would just swell, and they would have to push everybody back. So they started doing 2 people for every one person in line, and to kind of enforce that, they handed out wristbands like randomly at some point. So we went to the Fandom Party, and then after that, I went back to the hotel room, and I was like, well, I should go out there. And so I show up at the line where the guys are waiting, and there's like 2 people.
And this is Thursday night, and Hall H is Saturday.
This year, right?
This year, yeah. So they started waiting in line, like Thursday night, and then so I'm messaging with them. I show up, and then right after I showed up, maybe 30 minutes in, they show up with the wristbands, the line wristbands, not like the actual wristbands. And so people they're scrambling, calling people, but I got a wristband. A few others, 5 of us got wristbands, which means you can hold place in line for 15 people. That's it. And so we had other folks that showed up at like 6 a.m. And they didn't get wristbands, and so they had to like form another section of the line, another spot in the line. We all ended up getting like wristbands to get into the hall, but Marty, me, and our friend Mike got like the A wristbands, which we were like front of the line. So we were able to get
wristband tiers.
Oh yeah,
there's 6,500 seats.
Mm-hmm.
They give out for A, B, C, D. Each one is 1,500. So they try not to overbook. But this year it somehow got overbooked.
Somehow they did, yeah.
Yeah.
There
was a lot of
actually
that occurred after.
There was the controversy was when they finally start giving out. One, I was at an activation for The Walking Dead when the people showed up to give out the blinkies, to give out the actual wristbands, and so I had to like run a mile and a half. So that's be in shape for Comic-Con, but so I had to run a mile and a half back to I leave the activation mat where the Walking Dead cast is. They didn't really stick around. And so I leave that activation, run from Petco Park all the way back to the line, which is like a mile and a half or so around the convention center. And, I'm like drenched in sweat, and they're like, oh, they're going to be lying like a half hour. You were fine. So I could have walked it, but I got there in time. We get our wristbands, And while they're handing out the wristbands, we knew like, they're going to enforce the pre-line wristband. And so there was a big giant group behind us of like 80 people, and they didn't have enough of the first wristbands. So they got booted to the end of the line. So anybody that they're like, who are your two people? And I like pointed to Marcin and Marty and our buddy. And so they gave us wristbands, but the people group behind us, and then they refused to go. So the people were like, no, we're not leaving. So they
How long were
called
they
it
there for? How long did they wait at that point from getting there to that confrontation?
I don't know. I mean, you're told it's around. Everybody knows on Friday night around 7:30 is when they hand out the actual wristbands. So you tell your entire group, show up. You have to be in line here to get your wristband, or you're not getting in. So maybe an hour or so they've been waiting, but everybody had shown up, and they were like maybe 50 of them got kicked to the back of the line, and one guy I know for sure refused to leave. Like absolutely refused to leave, and they called the cops, and and then they took away his badge. The Comic-Con folks removed his,
scissors,
took his
cut it
badge
off.
back. Yep.
Oh man.
So
They cut it
had no
off?
chance of going. Yeah,
That's
so he
what,
had
that's
no
what I
chance
heard.
of going.
That's what social media.
And you
said.
have
So-
footage of all this, right? That you can show us on our channel, right?
See,
I wish.
that's-
Now I know. Next time I will start recording.
Everything will
we
be
were right
recorded.
there, and it was just like the line stopped, and we're just like, oh, we
That-
got our. So we're getting pictures with our wristbands and whatever, and you gotta feel bad, but at the same time, like you gotta be prepared. They're very clear about the rules, and
I have a story
they
about that.
said
too.
about 500 people with like wristbands did not get in for whatever reason. People are saying, Marvel overbooked their guests. They miscounted fake wristbands, but there was no proof of that. It's what happened to us in 2017. The exact same thing happened this year. So that was big controversy, a lot of disappointment, but that's why you gotta get the A or B wristbands. Then you're guaranteed.
Well, the other piece of it though is, and I've read some of the comments, and people are saying, the rule is if you show up, you have a wristband and you show back up by 7:30, you're supposed to be able to get back in line, right?
Yeah.
But people were showing up at 7:30. You can't, we showed back up Saturday morning at like 5:00, 5:30. Because you just can't, you don't want to take a chance that you won't be able to get through security. They do bag check, they do all kinds of things. There's 6,000 people potentially ahead of you at that point. So just get there early and get in line. And then, because they do all kinds of things like condensing the line, moving it forward, getting it ready to go inside the hall. And so you don't want to be like caught when they're
and
moving
the
people around.
caveat is that it's all Marvel. Like everyone wants to see what Marvel, and this might lead to our next story, but Thursday, like Spaceballs was there, so you can have a lot of fun at Hall H for other things and other days without waiting in line for 2 days or a day and a half. You just kind of gotta time it. And if it seems Marvel's like every other year they go in there. Like last year, there was no problems. We were able to enjoy things. But whenever Marvel is there, like that's how you gotta get prepared and get a group and kind of follow the rules. And then you will have a lot of fun as we did. Or you got to have friends in high places like A-Dog and Brian were able to have and join us for that Marvel panel.
So for those that don't know, so if Marvel's there every other year, right? So they were there for Deadpool Wolverine, right?
2 years ago, that's when Robert Downey Jr. like announced himself as Dr. Doom.
As Dr. Doom,
And thanks to Fahd, we were like the 5th row. We're in all the promo materials, whooping and hollering and cheering. And then they used to go there every year, but then they kind of, they don't have that many announcements. Like they don't have phases planned out.
Sure.
And we can talk about like what they announced this year, which to me was a little disappointing. Like usually they kind of bring in the big guns, announce a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, there
they
was
did
no
announce
big news.
Yeah, I mean the Ghost Rider was like the biggest. The Ryan Gosling playing.
That's pretty
That was
big
cool.
news, I think.
I thought
That was big.
I thought that was a good reveal. Yeah.
But no, like they had a trailer for Doomsday, which was like we've already seen.
Mhm.
And then like Black Panther 3, but like you just assume like what everybody expected was
Well, that was the other
something.
reveal, right? They announced
Yeah.
the actor for Black Panther.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
new Black Panther. But everyone expected, and while we're waiting in line, we're going over rumors, our guesses, like X-Men, something about X-Men, and it
Mhm.
never happened, which is disappointing because Emma Strong was like announced in the news like a few days later, and I'm like, they could have done that at that panel.
Who's
But
Emma Strong? I'm sorry.
Power Girl.
The White
Emma
Queen,
Frost, are you talking about?
Emma Frost.
Was it
Sorry, Emma
Emma
Frost.
Frost. Okay. Emma
Strong.
Stone. Emma Strong.
That's
I was
how
like,
Emma
this is a real
Stone-
review. I don't know anything about it. I still
Yeah.
haven't.
Emma Frost, or the White Queen, like her casting, and she's perfect. Like was it Samantha Weaving or Samara Weaving? I forget her name. So they could have done something like that, but they
I'm
kind of
Google.
stuck to.
None of these names are right. So
Feel
none of these
free
names
to
are correct.
fact check me,
Yeah.
chat. Let's see.
Well,
Want
yes.
to go into
We'll be
it?
doing post-editing fact checking.
Yeah.
Into,
By the way,
the-
I want to let you guys know we're up to 4 people watching now, so we've quadrupled our viewer count.
this
So
is gonna go viral.
yeah, it
Yeah.
will probably.
Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, to play Emma
Mara
Frost.
Weaving. Now I gotta have to go look.
She's
in the
playing
X-Men
Emma. She's
reboot.
playing Emma Stone in the new
That's right.
biopic.
She's
Samara
the
Weaving. Okay, yes, that looks like White Queen. Okay,
Okay, so if Marvel isn't there, right? So if it's every other year, then who's the headline? Who's the
It used to be
headline?
Warner
What's the headline
Brothers.
appearance?
Warner Brothers always starts Hall H, and like the
while we're
screen
doing
slide.
this, there you go.
I don't know. They're going through a merger and things, so it was like a weird, like animation in the '80s panel, which like people were sleeping through. But Apple, our sponsor for today, it was their first time. It was their first time at Hall H, and they did really good. They showed clips. They brought out some people.
This is the new White
They
Queen
did
guy.
that. Yeah, I mean that's totally
Yes.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, yes, playing Emma Stone, playing the White Queen. Okay,
So yeah, I mean it's always like Fahd. Maybe you can talk about. Did you go to? You went on Thursday, right? You saw some other Hall H stuff.
I went Friday for a little bit. Yeah, you could
Friday.
get into Spaceballs. I missed the Lanterns thing, but I got into see the Spaceballs thing. One second, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely worth. Like Hall H is like a highlight. Like if anyone is planning on trying to check out San Diego Comic-Con,
Yeah.
put Hall H on your schedule. It doesn't have to necessarily be Marvel on Saturday night. It just is huge hall, and it's a lot of fun.
well, I think Hall H is still the paramount thing that everyone is still associated with Comic-Con. Like
Yep.
Hall H is the special thing the most special thing, usually because of some sort of celebrity interaction, right?
Yeah.
The TV shows and the studios, like Game of Thrones used to go in there. So it's definitely like the marquee hall for like studios to promote their stuff. They bring in the casts, they bring in trailers, and like they used to like not show the footage. Now it kind of goes live at the same time. But some of my core memories, like one year, Tom Hiddleston dressed up as Loki. The lights went out. And he just starts talking about Hall H, and we're like, "Oh crap, he's here!" And Bill Murray gave me a high five. Like he just walked through the crowd, and then Marvel just has announced all their phases and projects through there, and like the energy. You guys were there. Like the energy, like right before, is just so intense.
Yeah.
You don't know what to expect. And this year, they did stuff in the back. They had some of the cast members of Doomsday appear in the very back of the hall. So like something new really happens every year. And it just makes it worth it. The hassle of 15-hour waits or just waiting and whatever. At that 5:30 slot Saturday, you're just like kid on Christmas morning.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, you guys didn't have to sit through it, but there was some brutal panels towards the beginning of the day. Sorry, I had a surprise guest.
Yeah, we heard the
Is
was it
it the same guest
Entertainment
we're gonna be
Tonight or
talking about?
E-Weekly?
No, there's the Bold School, which is like that was okay, but there was an we think that somebody canceled the first slot because there was something called the
Ah.
Animation Show of Shows, which was just like a film professor from like San Diego State or something that was just talking about animated commercials from like the 90s, and
That's horrible.
it was like, oh my god, and especially for people that have been like had spent the night there 2 days or whatever, or like super sleep deprived. Yeah, I was struggling to stay awake, and and then that surprise guest that came in later in the show was definitely not there during that panel. So
I would say this. So around 5 o'clock, Aaron and I went to where we were supposed to go to wait to get into Hall H, and we saw two, if not more, but definitely two people that were having heated conversations with security about being able to
Yeah.
re-enter
oh yeah,
because they were in Hall H, but apparently they left, and I don't know if they just didn't do what they were supposed to do, but they weren't wanting to let them back in, and they were looking for other security people to vouch for them, like you saw me or whatever. But to your point, once you're in, right, you don't want to like lose your spot or
no,
lose your seat.
yeah.
So you're
So you
you're
just,
you're stuck there all day.
no, so you can get a bathroom pass
Yeah, you
for
can.
that panel. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, but like on Saturday, an hour before, like before the Marvel panel, you're dumb if you try
If
and
you
Yeah,
try to
leave.
leave, yeah,
You try and leave or do anything else. Like I get that you've
yeah.
got like go exclusives or something on the show floor, or signings or whatever it is. And I've done that before. I've taken a bathroom pass to go get a signing, but it was like early in the morning on a Saturday, and that was like a real risk. But
Yeah, so
um,
around 2:30 on Saturday, you guys are in Hall H, right? Both of you
Well, we get in at like 9:30.
in the morning, yeah. But early afternoon, you guys aren't walking around the convention floor.
So
yeah,
it depends.
somebody posted in the chat in that Kiefer Sutherland and Carmen Electra, but that was like the good old days. Yeah, that was it was 2008. Marty was there in 2008, so he probably so he just ran into famous people in
He
in
remembers
there.
Carmen Electra from 2008.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
went
we all remember.
2007, and my brother and sister went 2008. Like it was still just like figuring it out, and then Mike, our friend Mike, he's got his own Schmoes Comics. He might be a guest. He was like, I kind of want to go to this Comic-Con thing, and then he went with me. And again, kid in a candy store, he fell in love. Every year he has to go. Fahd, one time at our favorite Clayton establishment here, was like, dude, I wouldn't mind going. And I'm like, dude, it's the best thing ever. He had a sort of mixed experience. Like I said, that first year we did not get into Hall H, but we got into like a Conan O'Brien thing and a few other things. And then, for whatever reason, he was like, I'm hooked, let's keep doing it. So it's like a weird thing of
Yeah.
like, if you're into the fandom and you go, you're like, I want to do this every year.
I mean, Marty and I we knew each other in passing, but we became friends probably because of Comic-Con also, because we ran into each other at Comic-Con at a party. I can't remember which party it was, but Hodor,
The Hodor,
from Game of Thrones was the DJ.
When he was DJing, yeah.
He was DJing.
Yeah, I was there also.
And I had some VIP passes for some reason, and I was behind at a table. But and I have selective memory or patchy memories of the night. But I remember seeing Marcin.
You had some libations.
Marty,
and you were having a good time.
I was having a good time, but and then we had debriefed when we get back to St. Louis, and then we've been friends since, and how we've been trying to continue to make this Comic-Con journey work. So I guess how do we transition to the bigger thing that happened with? So I guess we can talk about Marvel.
So that's what I was talking about. Is that if you're in Hall H, you're in Hall H all day. You're there at 9:30 in the morning or whatever. So your Saturday is consumed by Hall H.
Oh yeah.
So anyone who's on the convention floor would obviously not be in Hall H. And that's a transition to what happened and how we're able to get the footage we got because we were not sitting in Hall H all day. We had the liberty and the luxury of roaming around the convention floor, which we were just doing a scavenger hunt. And that's why we were on the convention floor.
I just say there's a lot of pretty good cosplay at San Diego Comic Con, but you never know who's inside.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so
Yeah.
here I'm gonna put up on screen this footage that we took, and then I can have someone else narrate while I.
Well, this tells who it was. But by now, everyone has heard.
Yeah, and a lot of people have seen this.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
Almost 12 million people have seen it.
Oh, why is it doing like that? Does it look tiny on your guys' screen?
It's tiny.
Yeah.
The tiniest screen ever? Okay. I don't know how to make that better.
Very cool.
So you could just get out of it. So a lot of people have seen the video.
Yeah,
of
the image
of Deadpool in the suit. So Aaron and I are wandering around. It is about 2:30 on Saturday, and we had our phones out. We were capturing anyone who was in good cosplay. If someone had good cosplay, we recorded it. We spot a Deadpool, and we saw lots of Deadpools. Some much better than others. This was the only one that stood out because of the denim blue gray suit, and that's the
Isn't
video we
Jean
shot.
Grey? That's
Yep, Jean Grey.
Yes, it ended up being
It's a-
Jean Grey.
It's a 13-second or so video. He didn't say anything, but he gave thumbs up, and that was it. The video next to it, he was with two females were with him, but looking back, we didn't really give it much thought. They weren't in cosplay. They were wearing Spider-Man t-shirts. They got excited about, jumping in and getting a video too. In hindsight, probably because they're just enthusiastic that somebody wanted to get their picture, when they obviously know who they're with. And so that all makes sense. But this was, again, around 2:30 on Saturday. When we got into Hall H, 3 hours later, and Robert Downey Jr. starts talking to a guy in the audience who was sitting, just a few feet from you guys, from Marty and Fahd, and we look over and we spot the suit, and it became very clear that the guy who we had recorded on the floor at 2:30 in the afternoon was Ryan Reynolds.
Thank you. I'm not wearing the Doom mask, but this mask because I didn't want to ruin the lines with my Canadian tuxedo.
That's the worst part, though, is that guy's laugh in the videos that I captured. There's the guy in front of us, and the worst laugh. It is a distinct laugh.
Well, it's
yeah. So me and Fahd and Mike got our usual 5th, 6th row seats, close to the aisles, and then Avengers caskets rolled out. Robert Downey Jr. mentions, and all of a sudden this guy sat like in a row behind us, a couple seats over, and I'm like, something's up. There's no way this guy was in Hall H line. There's no way he snuck in here. And I go, Fahd, that's Ryan Reynolds. And he's like, you think so? I'm like, that's the only explanation. We looked at his physique, his height. We're analyzing everything, and I just go, F it. I'm getting a selfie. So I jumped out, got a picture. I just told him that's a badass costume. He said, thanks, man. Thank you. Fahd did the same thing. People, we're getting selfies with him a little bit.
Could you
then,
could you hear his voice really?
No,
I
mean, for
could.
me, he didn't really say anything. You heard his voice?
And it did not sound like him. What I heard is he was speaking fluent French on the floor to some people, and he was changing his voice to not make it obvious. But to some of the, I guess, booths, he just said, I'm Ryan Reynolds. I'm just messing with people." Like he kind of fessed up to a couple of people that he trusted. But like, if you look at him, if you're standing next to him, you're like, this is not like a Hall H Comic-Con nerd. This is like a Hollywood millionaire.
Well, so I'll interject a second, because when Brian and I saw him on the floor, like I said, we saw him and I said, like, wow, that's cool. He's a blue Deadpool. I've never seen that. I didn't know anything. And here's a story I've kind of said on another thing. My brother-in-law, in physique and appearance, looks like Ryan Reynolds. Like, that's what people say all the time. So lucky for him. So he, when I saw this Deadpool, I thought, in my mind, I remember I didn't say this to Brian at the time, but I said, like, that looks like what my brother-in-law would look like if he were wearing the costume perfectly, which is hilarious because literally that's kind of, but it didn't occur to me to see.
Yeah, so Aaron in his mind, he's like, that's either really Ryan Reynolds or it's my brother-in-law.
Yeah, I was like, what is?
And I don't know
way.
he's here.
You know?
Yeah, I mean it was like, who's making that costume? I don't, it was a professionally made costume.
Apparently, someone is making it. They posted it, right? What was their name again?
It's his company. It's like Maxim Effort or whatever.
So okay.
Yeah.
Super custom.
He's got no
It's-
backpack.
yeah.
He's got no chair, no pillows, like no nachos or pizza. Like, come on, who are you trying to fool?
Yeah. And again, if you had sat through all of the panels that we sat through, like, we would
exactly.
Somebody
That's
that
all.
did
That was
the
the biggest
costume
clue.
behind
I was
it.
like, he just appeared out of nowhere right before the.
And nobody's
Marvel
giving
thing.
up their seat, right? Like, nobody's gonna be like,
Exactly.
I'm just gonna take off
This
right
guy's
before the
about to
Marvel
get
panel.
security and get kicked out, or if he's
Yeah.
part of the show. And it's gotta be Ryan. So yeah, the spotlight goes on him. Big camera runs over there, and I'm giving high five. We got our cameras out. He does his 10-minute speech, trying to be in the movie. They go back and forth with the crowd, and it like instantly becomes a core memory. Besides me, Fahd saying, "Look who's over there," and I see you bozos. And I go, "How the heck did you guys get in here?" Come up, we get our Doom masks, and you guys are like, "We filmed this guy in the hall."
Yeah.
We go,
Yeah.
you guys go.
And my phone was blowing up, so I went on X and live. So there's people in the press obviously that are in Hall H. So they're posting that Ryan Reynolds just crashed Hall H. And so that was like trending. You can see it's like boom, 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 boom. So every major news outlet is posting that Ryan Reynolds just crashed Hall H, begging to be in Doomsday or some spin on that. But of course, there's no footage of Ryan Reynolds on the floor. So it was
It's
such a
being
clear
edited by
opportunity.
A-Dog.
Yeah,
so
I was as I walked out of the
I dropped him the footage.
transferred.
I dropped him the
edited real
footage,
quickly,
and he's just editing. Yeah,
and then it went up on YouTube, fairly quickly, and was up there. And then
I took a little more time with Instagram. Yeah,
and we had
we were at
currently
like 3
currently
hours
on
later.
YouTube it's around 8.3 million views. On Instagram it's over 11 million views,
just over 11 million. Yeah,
which is
so it'll have 20 million, and on TikTok it's got almost a million. So around 20 million views on our social channels, which is
But you guys knew that night, right? We were at dinner at like 8:30, and it was you guys were thinking like a million.
Yeah, we were
but
thinking if it gets to 1 million. I remember I was sitting with Brian in the our hotel room, and I was like, man, I think it's gonna get at least 100,000, but that'd be cool if it got 6 figures or 7 figures.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing, because the most viral video we had before this was actually at Comic-Con, and I posted a video of Pac-Man, and it got to 32,000 views, and I was already saying that
he said it's viral.
my obituary.
It's like viral.
Play that video because it was the most successful thing I've ever posted. And then we do this, and obviously every second when you check, it goes up another 1,000 views, 2,000 views, 10,000 views. And we were at dinner with these, all 4 of us were at dinner, and we were just watching and hearing this, like, more likes happening, more, it's a very,
couldn't keep up with it.
You guys had something when I think Brian said, like, other news outlets are reaching out,
Yeah.
get the footage from you guys, and we're like, don't sell it, don't share it. It's yours. Just let it do its thing. And then it's like
Yeah.
2 million, 3 million, and then A-Dog is just texting me throughout the night, 3.5 million, 6 million.
Yeah. It's good. It was really cool. That's the best way I
It was
could put it.
pretty
It's
cool.
really neat.
It was cool, and Marvel comment on it. When Marvel commented on the Instagram post, that was like, that's pretty cool. When they post, and it's still the most liked comment. I think it's got
37,000 comment likes on the comment.
likes on the comment.
I think it's the most viral video. Like I couldn't find anything else that was like the view count that you guys got.
The one that's higher is Ryan Reynolds' video himself.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
jealous and he's like, I
Yeah.
better do my
So-
own.
Yeah,
I really think
it's
that
clear
our
he was
footage-
planning on it.
Our footage was the only footage available, non-Ryan Reynolds, because there was nothing else. We looked for it, and there was nothing else that came up. So, and
There still isn't. There's just stills.
Those pictures. That was the
pictures.
key. Everyone was
pictures,
doing
yeah.
selfies, and you guys were doing
We have
kind
a
of the
video.
videos for your growing channel.
which is funny because we don't have this year. We didn't. We usually have selfies or pictures with people. This year we didn't do any of that because we were
didn't.
filming.
Yeah.
But because of that, luckily we got the video we have, right? But
Yeah.
we don't, like, you two have great selfies with him. We don't have any selfies with him.
Oh,
Hey,
my recommendation, by the way, to people: shoot in 4K if you
Yeah.
can.
She's asking if you can share the Marvel comment. She wants to know what they said.
Oh, let's see if I can pull it up.
If you can figure that out.
Let me see what I can do here. I think I can.
You
do
got
it. Hold on.
you got to be checking the chat.
Yeah. Well, they said Deadpool doing the most Deadpool thing at SDCC.
Oh yeah.
Let me see if I can find. Hold on a second. I can look. I can.
37,200.
And Brian, did you get a chance to reply to every
This might
single
be.
comment?
Give me a second.
Yes.
Can you guys see it here?
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, that looks good.
There it is. So
Yeah, Deadpool doing the most Deadpool thing.
And then you
So
start
that was-
seeing like the
that was a
comments are getting
big moment.
thousands of interaction. I mean,
Yeah.
Marvel's comment got 37 likes, 37,000 likes.
Before Marvel commented on the video, there was a lot of comments that were. I had some comments that were just saying we were gullible. That's not really him. Sure, it's him. He didn't take his mask off. He didn't say anything. Basically saying that we weren't correct.
yes.
When Marvel commented on the video, there was a lot of people that I just let them defend the video. I didn't have to go in there and say anything. People were just like, "You idiot! Look at like Marvel wouldn't have commented on the video if it wasn't him." Because of course Ryan Reynolds' video didn't come out for another day.
Yeah.
And there was still no other footage like ours. Basically saying that or speculating. So
Yeah. And,
so
and I was thinking,
did its thing.
I people were saying, is that really him, or was that really him? He never took off his mask in Hall H, but you could hear him speaking into the microphone, and there was like the risk if they, it just didn't make sense that they would risk, like trying to trick everybody like that.
Trick everybody,
It's just like this conspiracy theory. It would be way simpler and easier and probably cost effective just to have them show up and do it, than
Yeah.
There's been a history of celebrities doing this, like Henry Cavill
Yeah.
did it with a mask. I think Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
There's a few other ones, but I think this has been the best one. Like it's his character. It's like a different costume that brings up intrigue. And he was walking the floor for I think like an hour or whatever. There's
And he didn't do a reveal on the floor.
And yep.
Yeah.
Like you learn after, like that's the best thing I think, where you're just like going through your pictures and you're like, oh my gosh, I have a picture with Ryan Reynolds.
You guys still there? Am I losing you?
We can
I
hear
had you guys glitching out for a minute. You guys still there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. You're a little choppy. But...
Henry Cavill, like he revealed himself on the floor.
Yeah, you went to like the Warner booth or whatever, but
he revealed himself to Will Smith.
Yeah, so this was definitely highlight, like it's top 3 moments for me and the 13 Comic Cons, and the fact that you guys went viral, it's kind of like the next phase of your channel is kind of being born out of this, and
Yeah.
this is awesome. Like this, talking and recollecting our adventures. I think we should do it once a week.
Yeah. I mean,
Fahd and I are gonna have a little side channel where we just discuss Ryan Reynolds workauts,
yeah.
so he can
Yeah, that's
look
what we're gonna
just
do.
like Aaron's brother-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have
Do it
my brother-in-law come
next
on
week.
as
Yeah,
a model for us, you guys too.
do a side by side.
How to get Deadpool's abs.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have a whole like scheme about Ryan Reynolds related content to feed out to the algorithm from now on, apparently.
Yeah.
Because that's what
Which
it wants.
cell phone service is Ryan Reynolds using?
Yeah. Yeah.
Put your guess in the comments.
Well, I think that I think this is a great discussion and kind of overview of Comic-Con. So just for things in the future, Marty is going to be a soon to be released channel coming up. Do you want to talk about it all, or do you want to tell them what you're going to do, or do you?
Yeah, I've had a plan. I love talking. I do Facebook reviews, and people have always been like, they're helpful. They look forward to it. Helps them make decisions. If to go to see movies or not. And I've always kind of had a goal of making it on YouTube a little bit more interactive. And I've watched A-Dog, the over breakfast, just go from one or I was like their 3rd or 4th subscriber, and over 11 months they got monetized. They have a lot of interaction on their lives, and then this viral moment happened and just inspires me to kind of get back into like creating my own channel where I do I want to have it focus on like top 10 lists. Like I love top 10 lists. Like I have a top 10 Comic Cons, top 10 things that happen at Comic Con. So I'm gonna try to do like my favorite top 10 movies, top 10 Christmas movies, top 10 superhero movies, and just get that going. So this is kind of one of my first, like steps into that direction. So that's what I'm hoping to do. And like I said, I've been inspired by the guys to my left.
Well, we
That's awesome.
look forward to having you as a regular guest. And Fahd, when you start your channel, like I said, your fitness and health awareness channel, you just let us know.
It's just him in the gym doing reps.
That works
Yeah.
too. I'm sure that might get more viral than our video.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything else you guys want to say, this is the time to do it. But I think that we're coming up at the hour mark. This video will live on. If I did everything right, it'll live on YouTube as a live, and then I don't think we're going to be able to edit it. So this is how it is. But I think actually, I really appreciate you guys being here and talking with us. Hope to do this more regularly as we get more comfortable doing this, and hopefully we build our viewer base to be able to anticipate when this will happen and be able to do this in a consistent fashion. So, all right, guys. So thanks a lot. Look forward to the new content coming up, and we will talk to you guys next time. All right. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone.
Thanks, guys.